Hello everyone, let's learn English linguistics, and today we are going to focus on vowels. Vowel is a sound that needs an open ear to the passage in the mouth. It is different from consonant. In consonant, the airstream is restricted or stopped at some point between the vocal cords and the lips. So, if we compare, in vowel sound, there must be no restriction at all in the mouth. But in consonant, there must be restriction or stopped. Because there is no restriction or closure in the mouth, vowel is produced with open approximation or relatively opened. Vowel is also articulated by shaping the tongue in the mouth. Because there is no restriction, we have difficulties to tell where the tongue is when they are produced. We can only produce the sound by shaping the tongue in the mouth and use differences in length combined with differences in quality to differentiate each vowel sound. Remember, all vowels are voiced. It means although there is no restriction or closure in the mouth, but in vocal cords, all vowels are produced with closed vocal cords. There are two kinds of vowels, monophthong and diphthong. Monophthong is a single vowel. During the production of the sound, it doesn't involve any tongue movement. Usually, we know monophthong with the term vowels. The example of monophthong is e, u, or a. In diphthong, it is different. Diphthong is double vowel and the process of the production involving gliding. The example is a, ow, ear, etc. Vowels can be classified based on 5 things. The first one is the position of the tongue that forms the resonance chamber, or we know it as which part of the tongue which is raised, because the resonance chamber is formed when certain part of the tongue is raised. For example, if the front of the tongue is raised, then we have front vowels. The front vowels are e, or a. But when the central part of the tongue is raised, we have central vowels, that is or a. A is not specifically central vowel, but the characteristic is more like central vowels. That's why it is called centralized. When back part of the tongue is raised, then we have back vowels. Those are u, o, and a. The second classification is the height of the tongue. In the first one, we talk about the part of the tongue which is raised. Which part of the tongue which is raised? The second classification, how high is it raised? Is it high, mid, or low? Here in the chart, we have high area. So when the vowel produced with tongue raised up to this, up to close and half closed position, that it is high vowels. High vowels consist of E, I, U, or U. The second one is mid area. Mid area is between half closed and half opened. The sounds are E, and O. The last one is low area. Low area is between half open and open. So it is raised but very little. The sounds are A, and O. Look at the pictures. In the first picture, the part of the tongue which is raised is the central vowel, but it is very low. Okay, relatively open, very low. So this is the example when we want to produce sound ah, as in the word aha. But if we want to produce the word he, you can see here that the front of the tongue is raised high. In the example who, the one that is raised is back of the tongue, and it is raised high. If you compare picture number 2 and picture number 3, both are raised high, but this is the back of the tongue which is raised high, and this one, front of the tongue which is raised high. The third classification is shape of the lips. Shape of the lips can be rounded or unrounded. Unrounded can be spread or neutral. When we produce back vowels, for example, U, as in the word who, the lips shaped roundedly. But when we produce sound he, the mouth is spread. The lips are spread. So it belongs to unrounded. The last one, we can also produce neutral, which belongs to unrounded vowels. When you produce the word aha, your lips or mouth seems like in neutral position. Vowels can also be classified based on the degree of closeness. Degree of closeness actually refers to the distance between the upper part of the mouth and the lower part of the mouth. It can be close, it can be half open, half closed, or open. Once again, close, half closed, half open, and open. Here in close, it means the distance between the front part of the mouth and the lower part of the mouth is very little. Try to produce sound oo and then check the distance between the closeness of the upper part and the lower part of the mouth. And then, for example, if you want to produce sound A, you can see that the closeness of the mouth, the upper part and the lower part of the mouth is getting bigger. A. If you want to produce sound A, it's even more than that. The upper part on the lower part of the mouth is very open. The last one in open, okay, this is the biggest distance between the upper part of the mouth and the lower part of the mouth. The last classification of vowel is the length of pronunciation. The length is known as quantity. Remember, long and short vowels is not determined by how long you can produce the sound. For example, if we produce sound E, even though you prolong the sound, it is not categorized into long vowels because long and short is determined by the tense and the legs of the jaw. If you want to produce sound E, the jaw must be tense. But if you want to produce sound E, the jaw must be lax. Once again, tense vowel require tension in selected muscle for the production. The tension causes longer duration. That's why it is called long vowels. However, when we want to produce lax vowels, the muscles are in resting posture. That's why the duration is shorter, and we call it short vowels. This is the cardinal vowel chart. This is the vowel chart that illustrates the tongue position for all vowel sounds in all languages. If we make it specific into a certain language, let's say English, it becomes like this. There are 12 vowels in English. Here you have long E and short E. A and A for the front part of the tongue. For the central part of the tongue, we have and also A, the centralized vowel. And then at the back part, we have U, O, and A. This is the diagram of the pure vowels of RP, received pronunciation. That's why if you see the symbol of the vowels, the long sounds marked by the colon, while the short sounds, the short vowels, are without the colons, but with the same symbols. Long U with short U, same symbol, but with colon. This one, and the same symbol, but you just add colon for the long sound. Also E and O. Now let's talk about vowels in syllable. There are two kinds of syllable, open syllable and closed syllable. An open syllable is a syllable that ends with a tense vowel or a diphthong. So, in monosyllabic word, the pattern is consonant and vowels. The other one is closed syllable. It is a syllable that ends with a consonant sound. Usually in phonological patterns, we write it as VZ or vowel consonant or consonant vowel consonant. For long tense vowel may appear in both open and closed syllable. So for example, in the word sheep and eat. Also she. Lax vowels can appear only in the closed syllable. Ship, for example, closed. But both tense and lax vowel can initiate a syllable. If you can see it here, eat and it can start a syllable. So once again, long tense vowel can appear in both and closed syllable, as in ship, she, and eat. Lax vowel only in closed syllable, as in ship. But both of the vowels can initiate a syllable. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video about diphthong.